RallyHere sort of sprang from the back-end systems that we used for SMITE 1 and the other Hi-Rez games. And we realized that we were going to need to completely modernize the way that we handle that to support the next generation of the games that Hi-Rez loves to make.
Whenever you're moving from the previous generation of technology to the next, you always unlock a ton of capabilities. Once you learn how to integrate those things, it can take your technology to a whole new level entirely.
RallyHere provides a couple of things. One, it's a fully managed backend services. So we manage everything from the servers themselves, where the backend systems were running, as well as the game servers. So the developers don't have to worry about it.
In-game purchases with platforms, matchmaking and queue configuration, as well as distributing those players across many, many regions all across the world. RallyHere runs dedicated servers for SMITE 2 in all of those regions, and so we do all the management of those things for the SMITE 2 team.
The other piece is the actual integration layer that we provide. It is a plug-and-play system that developers just take, and then they hook it up to their game team, so they don't have to build all of these intricate systems of how does a user authenticate with someone like Steam or Xbox or PlayStation.
We work with the partners to provide a drop-in solution that they can use in Unreal for getting their games up and running, supporting platform-level logins, provide matchmaking, all of the different game modes and custom types, and we allow them to configure all of the purchases and in-game inventory that they need. If we're doing our jobs right, nobody will notice a thing. Everything will just work.
We have the ability to pull up every player's complete history within the game, supporting them in case of there's a problem with their experience in the game. That insight, I think it helps those teams do the work that they need to do to keep the community positive.
One of the things that we're trying to be very diligent about is making sure that a lot of our stuff that would previously be in a spreadsheet is stuff that we're managing through RallyHere's editor. And so rather than having this in some spreadsheet somewhere, we're able to manage a lot more of that information through RallyHere so that anybody can go and reference anything.
If you look at the way SMITE 1 was handled, whenever new changes or configurations to the game had to be pushed out, that would require hard downtime because you have to restart all of these backend services so that the services themselves can pick up the new configuration. All of that is very dynamic now.
I'm able to put in, is this feature turned on? And then I can specify like a true or false value. I can specify an integer value. This is something that allows us to dynamically turn features on and off during a launch. So for instance, if we find a game-breaking bug with an item or with a god, we're able to shut that off in real time without having to do any type of hot fixing.
Having that capability of dynamically turning a lot of those things on and off, I may not see it as a player, but you know that there wasn't a patch, there wasn't any sort of thing that you had to wait weeks for to be corrected. These can be done on the spot. The producers or the community managers can always take that feedback and react in real time versus having to wait a few weeks for it.
And then on top of that, their dynamic scaling for sessions and matchmaking has been huge from the first weekend launch.
The ability to actually have millions of players is not something that we're afraid of anymore. Now we're relishing that level of success on any of our games when it used to be a huge population could be a risk to us.
I just hope that we're able to deliver a better experience to as many people as possible, which I think is something that RallyHere is better set up to support than things that we've used in the past in terms of dynamically scaling up how many people we can support and being able to bring the best experience possible.
The goal that we have is that there's no one who can come to us with a specific need that we can't support. It's not tailored to one specific game, it just happens to be our DNA comes from the kind of games that Hi-Rez makes, but we build a system that can support more than that.
You're not having to reinvent the wheel. We've already provided that stepping ground for you to just go ahead and start focusing on the game itself.
I'm super happy to have you guys here. I'm eager to see how hard you guys can push us, and I want our platform to be great, and I want SMITE 2 to be great.
It's really exciting to be able to work with SMITE 2 again, because that's kind of like where we all started. Being able to help them build out the next generation of this game is kind of a hoot.